Hello, devotees, and once again, it is November, and once again, it's time for another Thanksgiving video on Leowolf TV. And it bears repeating. I know I may sound like a broken record because I basically am thankful for just about the same things every year, but by the grace of God, I'm not going to complain about that because I am thankful that I can still say that I have these things that I've been thankful for. I still have them today. And those things, those people, everything that I am thankful for is my family, my friends, my devotees, my fans on YouTube and other platforms. I am thankful for the agents that I finally have been able to get with. They seem to be very helpful. They are very kind. They are very cooperative. I feel like I'm finally being very well taken care of in that aspect as far as having a manager goes or agent goes. So this is wonderful. And I am so thankful. As I stated, I'm so thankful for my family. My sister, who is awesome. She I love her gourmet chicken. And above that, she also works very hard at her job. I'm so proud of her. She not only works hard, but she's just amazing at what she does. Because I can recall I tried to do a similar job that mimicked a certain way of doing things, such as like wearing a headset and watching several monitors at once, and I thought I could multitask, but I really can't. Not in the way she can. She can do all that stuff. She's been doing it for years, but at this point, she's in dispatch, and she has both basically helped several people. Who knows how many people she's helped just by being dispatch and just by doing what she does. I am so proud of her. I am so thankful for her because she doesn't she could easily just give up. She could easily just get so tired and burnt out and heartbroken over the things that she hears over the phone. You know, she could just give up at any point and just say, well, we'll figure something out. But she perseveres. She stays strong. She fights on. And she comes home. She cooks. She cleans. Me and her, we watch movies together. Of course, here lately we've been struggling to find movies to watch because I can be stubborn. And she puts up with me. So I am very thankful for all of that. My sister is definitely the workhorse of the family, and I mean that in the best possible way. And I love you, Sarah, very much. I appreciate you very much. I'm very proud of you. My niece, that is my world. That is literally the beat of my heart is my niece. She has gone from just kind of, I've watched her go from being a young baby who can barely speak and who just wants to watch me play the games and things like that, and just I pick her up from school. I've watched her. I've been there to change her diapers and everything, and now here she is. She's playing games. She's making the AB honor rolls. She's doing so well in school. Teachers are bragging on her, and she thinks the world of me, which is something that I'm not gonna lie. Every time I start to think about it, I'm immediately flooded with all the different memories of growing up and thinking very less of myself, being very insecure. And even though she is not my child biologically, she is still my niece, and even if I never ever have children, which I do hope in the future, maybe to one day meet the right woman, etc., 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 I can honestly say that this is definitely good training, because she pretty much is my child in a way. I mean, I've been pretty much daddy to her since she was born, because the daddy was never in the picture. I've literally tried to teach her whatever I've learned. I've hung out with her. I've spent time with her. I've played with her, and that young woman, that little girl, she's gonna grow up to be such a strong and caring woman whenever she gets to be older. And she just looks at me, and she doesn't see all the things that I see in me. She doesn't see all the things that I used to think of myself, even whenever I'm feeling really down and I don't remember my value. She just makes it all better by just spending time with me, letting me know that I'm like the greatest uncle ever. I'm awesome, because I'll try and tell her, I'm like, you're awesome, sweetie, and she's like, and you're awesome too, Uncle Josh, and I love you. And I am getting very emotional, obviously, but my niece is the world. And I know there's dark stuff in the world. I know there's a lot of things that she's gonna hurt and everything. But that's life, and it doesn't matter what she goes through, or whatever pain she goes through, because I know God will get her through it. And above everything else, I know that I'm always gonna be there for her, and she knows that too. Just like she knows her mommy and her family, her grandmother, her great grandmother, and her aunts, and her entire family. We're all going to be here for her. She's never going to be alone. And the fact that she knows that and just appreciates that and lets us know that she loves us so much and she admires us, it is just something that I honestly never thought I could have. And on that topic, I'd like to talk about my friends now. Try to shift gears a little bit. The two men that I can honestly say have stood the test of time, which I repeat this, and I'm going to keep repeating it, because as long as we are friends, as long as we are brothers, I will always repeat this, because it will still blow my mind how these two young men can put up with me and can just take the good with the bad, take the bad with the good, everything, and still maintain being friends with me. They could easily just say, well, we've had enough, it's been long enough, I can't do this anymore with you, anything like that, like I just think we need to just stop talking. They could easily have done that, but they still have not done that, which is a testament to them as people, as young men, and is a test to whatever impact I have done on them makes them stay. My friends Jacob and Jackson, when all the other friends fall short, whenever all the other friends basically fall away, they've stayed. And even though we all three get under each other's skin, I'm sure we all have our complaints about the other. It doesn't matter. We have that unconditional bond. We have that unconditional love that we just can't function without each other. And I do appreciate that. I not only appreciate that, I am so thankful for that. Because if I may open up a little bit, which I know is on brand for me at this point. But growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends because where we grew up, it was in the countryside. It was out there in the sticks, as we say. And the friends that I would make at school would only be at school. They wouldn't be at home, or I couldn't go to their house or anything like that. And I look back on, whenever I think about how good I've got it now as far as friends and family and everything, sometimes I think back to that 13-year-old boy sitting there in his room one night and just crying his eyes out and just looking out the window and just praying to God, God, please send me a friend. I am so alone. I am so lonely. And like, I just think back to like all the times that all the friends that I've had have just faded away because they weren't really there forever. You know, some people just come in your life for a short time, that, you know, and all the heartache that comes with that, all the loneliness that comes with that. And like I said, I just think back to, like, it's amazing at what God can do. You know, I mean, this is, like, it's amazing at how life can happen, how God can work things out. Because it still blows my mind that somehow that same little boy who was crying and begging God to send him a friend, send him friends, you know, that would actually be loyal to him and actually love him, actually value him. It's funny how I think back, that's the same little boy, and now there's plenty of people who would love to be my friend. Plenty of people who care. And there was people who cared back then too, but I was young. I didn't know any different. You know, I just saw my own loneliness. I didn't think about my mother or my sister. My sister was older, you know, she had her own things going on, and so did my mother, but I was young and stupid, you know, I mean, young and lonely, more or less. But like I said, it's so funny. I was so lonely, and now you can ask Jackson, you can ask anybody that knows me. Now I'm like one of the most friendliest people. I walk around, I could just strike up a conversation and just start talking with people and just get along with them. I could just be so friendly and just talk to anybody. I could walk up to a complete stranger in the middle of a store and just chime in with them, and they appreciate me, and they appreciate me being so friendly and so kind, and just, like I said, it's just hard to think back that I was ever not able to do that. But I had to get there. I had to go through the bad to get to the good. Or as I like to say about my nickname, basically, as it pertains to what happened, or my nickname, Leowolf, I would say, I tell people all the time now that ever since this turning point in my life where I started, like a few years ago, whenever I really started getting into God and like really starting trying to learn more and started trying to throw myself more into God, because I'm like, nothing's gonna work out for me if I don't put him first. You know, I'm like, nothing's gonna work out, you know, once I'm gone. Nothing's gonna work out while I'm here unless I put him first, and I had to do that. And like I say, the wolf had to run so the lion could rise. And like I said, I'm just very grateful, because Jacob and Jackson, they could have easily just stopped being my friend. They could have said I was too annoying. They could have wrote me off, you know, years ago, but they didn't. And I am forever grateful to them two young men for that. They both are very hard workers at their jobs as well. Jackson is a irrigator, and I have worked with him on that job a couple times. I've done what he's done before, but definitely nowhere near as long, and I do not have the knowledge or the passion for that job, so there'd be no way I could even try and come close to doing what he does. So he has my respect for that. He's out there in the hot sun, digging holes, digging ditches, getting covered in water, getting covered in mud, just you name it, doing electrical stuff, you name it. So he's got my huge respect for that. My buddy Jacob, he's the same. He has done off and on. He's done security work, off and on. He's done those types of jobs, and it's been a bit of a grind, but he's had his ups and downs. But no matter what, he still pushes through it. And I know he feels a lot of times he feels like he's not doing enough, or maybe he feels like, what's the point, But it don't matter, because I know that God's got a hold on him. I know God's got his back, because even though I know he feels that way at times, he's still here and he still pushes through. So I know God is working on him, and I know God is protecting him. Like, no matter what, they are all sticking around. And like I said, I've been needing to do this Thanksgiving video for a couple weeks now. I've been wanting to record it, but now's the best time, and I am thankful for just about everybody in my family. I am also thankful for my mother, who, though we argue at times, and though she has her own things that she deals with, she still puts up with me. She still puts up with everything, and she still pushes through. She doesn't give up. As she would say, you can't kill bad grass. So, at the risk of this video going on any longer, me blubbering, thank you. Anybody who's listening, thank you. I know I left out a few people. If you don't mind, I'll just run your names or whatever. I got my boy Michael, my #1 fan here, my dude, Michael Fireheart. Love you to death, man. You don't have to be as supportive as you are, but you are. You stick around, you put up with me, you put up with my rants, you put up with all that. Just like James and Cody, y'all put up with my ranting, y'all put up with all my gripes, y'all put up with my, maybe I'm too direct at times, maybe I just go a little overboard, but y'all put up with it, and I appreciate both of you for it. I mean, James, you got your own stuff going on with your family situation. I won't say too much here, but you got your own situations there. But I want you to know that I know you struggle at times with your job. I know sometimes married life cannot always be perfect. I understand that, especially in your situation, your living situation, I should say. And then also your family situation, with your dad and everything. It's gonna be hard, but I want you to know that I'm here for you, man. I am here for you as well in that time. Because I'm going to be here for y'all, because y'all are here for me. And I thank y'all every day. I thank God every day for being able to wake up and be healthy. Be able to wake up and have a roof over my head. Have food in the fridge. And even whenever things look very dire, I thank God for the knowledge that I know He's going to make a way. Even when it looks as bad as it can get, I basically just tell myself I know He's going to make a way. Even if it looks like it's going to go very, very south and there's no avoiding it and it's going to hit us hard, I say no matter what happens, we're going to get hurt, but we will survive and we will keep going and we will be taken care of in the end. Because any bad thing that happens, it's just a dark tunnel. But the point of a tunnel is that there's always an opening and an exit. So even though the tunnel is very dark, there will be light eventually. And with all that being said, Dragon Girl 2000, my boy Caden, he's a new follower. He's very talented. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's very creative when it comes to writing his fan fiction of Arthur and the Minimoys. He's very compassionate. He's a good Christian young man. I'm very thankful to have met him. He's very kind and very compassionate and very creative. So, thank you all. As always, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I value y'all greatly. I just want y'all to know that I value y'all very much. I used to make the statement that whenever somebody is my close friends, I treat them like treasures, like they are my gems, like they are my valuables. I value them greatly. I want y'all to know I feel very deeply about y'all's friendship and just the relationships in general. Thank y'all once again. Farewell wherever y'all fare. May God bless. Walk with wisdom. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
I dance on my Mother Earth, but my spirit dances on the clouds. I dance with the spirits in the sky. I dance with the Yin, the great spirit who blesses me.